Okay, so I'm working on the cables for my Summit tree stand. Happens to be a Viper, happens to be a fantastic, awesome climber. I love using it. And I just put new heat shrink on the cable. Let me show you one that doesn't have it shrunk down yet. So it's really easy to do. You just strip off the old, cut it with a carpet knife, with a utility knife, and pull all the old off the cable. And then you buy new heat shrink from wherever. I do buy mine right directly from Summit. It's a little bit heavier duty, I think. It works good. I think I tried just some from an electrical place and it didn't last as long. So this is a cable that I stripped all the old off and I just sleeved. I just put the new heat shrink on, and I haven't actually used the heat gun on it yet. So this one I've got almost done. And the point of this video is I'm showing you how to get these on the back side where the climber actually grabs a hold of these lugs. When you insert the cable into your tree stand, and then there's a pair of hooks here that grab the back side of these lugs. If you don't do something to it, you end up with, let me see if I can get you right here. You end up with a kind of a fillet like this that is hollow inside, and when you pull on that with your metal bracket of your climber, it wears on that because it's got a hollow void in there that can flex and move, and it's easier to tear. So what I do is I have a little technique that I heat this up really good, and we're talking, you don't need to do the back side. Here's the cable, and there's the 4 lugs, and you only need to do it on this side. Here's the tail. You don't need to do it here, 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 or here, but on this side where it hooks and it grabs, you want to square that really good. On this one, on all 4 of them, on both ends, you want to do that same technique. I haven't done anything on this end yet. This one has 3 of them done, and you can see, if you look right there, you can see how that's a little sharper, or in some cases quite a bit sharper on this side than it is this side. This side you can leave loose and have a pretty good fillet in there, and that won't matter, but it's this side that we're grabbing that you want to square that. So what I do is I heat it up really good with the heat gun. You can't use a hair dryer. It doesn't get hot enough to heat this heat shrink to make it shrink. But you heat it up, and I do the entire sleeve first, and then when I'm done, I come back and I start working on squaring these back ends. So what I do is, and I'll show you one, I'm gonna actually do one here on video, but I heat this up really good on this back side, and then I use a crescent wrench, a simple crescent wrench, and I adjust it to the size so that it just goes over the cable just a little bit, but not tight, because then you fight it against, it'll kind of grab against the cable, this portion, and you don't want to jack it around and have it slide and catch and tear this portion. But I get it just so that it's loose. Let me get it here. I get it just so that it's just loose, and then with it really hot down here, I just bump this up against that really good all the way around that, so it makes a square edge. And this cool tool on that hot heat shrink will help it cool and help it settle into a sharper square edge right there. Sorry, I get out of the camera frame a little bit. But we're talking again on this side, not this tail end, But on the back side where the hooks actually engage, you want that to be sharp as you can get it pretty much. And if you do this and you just take your time, heat it up nice and warm, and then slide the tool down, a cold steel tool, it'll help form that shape and make that square, and it'll stay longer, it'll stay nicer longer and won't have a tendency to tear open, and then you're kind of right back to where you need to replace the sleeving again. The old sleeving that I tore off this was probably 4, maybe 5 years old. And part of the reason that it does last a long time is because you do little things like square those edges. So I'll show you here. Let's get this going. And I'm gonna do this one right here. Let's see if I can get in here just a little bit better. And I'm gonna do, let's see, we're gonna do this one. Okay, I've done all of these, so I'm on to, yep, right here. Okay, we're gonna do this one right here. So let me heat this up. It's on hot. It does make a huge difference if you move the gun all the way around the cable. Even when you're doing just the main portion of the cable or the main cable itself, it makes a huge difference that you rotate the gun, the heat source, all the way around and not just go here in the backside. You gotta really, this heat shrink is very sensitive to heat direction or the direction of the heat. So you want it all the way around that to really warm that up good. So after I've got that warmed up, now I take my tool and just push it up against the back side like that. And you just want to get down in that corner, down in that sharp corner where the ferrule meets the cable to try and get that to be as compact and as tight to the cable and tight to the ferrule as you can possibly get it. And even after I do that once, I'll heat the gun back up, heat the ferrule and the cable and the heat shrink back up in that same place. We've kind of stretched it a little bit and we pushed it down in there once, and that helps the process. But the second time that I do this seems like it works a little bit better. So now we've stretched that heat shrink, and now we're gonna do it one more time. And this kind of helps set that shape down in there and get that really square so there isn't a hollow void to be wearing out as fast. A little bit of finessing, a little bit of extra work, but it helps pay off. Now you can see, I keep losing where my camera lens is right here, yep. This side is a square, sharp edge, and then this side you can just leave flow out, and that's okay. That doesn't run up against anything and doesn't wear out as fast or as much as what this side does. So doing that will help this heat shrink last another 1, maybe 2, I don't know, maybe 3 seasons extra, because it's not wearing out and wearing through the heat shrink on that back side of that ferrule. So Summit tree stands, putting heat shrink back on a cable. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching.